Put it like right about there, I think. Hope everybody's doing good today. If you're already here, welcome to the live stream. Let me just pull this up real quick. So that way I can see what you guys are saying. There we go. Cool, you guys can see my feet. All right, so today, in case it wasn't obvious enough, we are going to be doing a life-size build of Charmander. And this was sort of like the... I got so much of the screen taken up. I kind of want to adjust that. Adjust that. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hold the phone. There we go. That's a lot better. I had a lot of the screen getting taken up, and it was like nothing really. Okay, that looks better. All right, so if you're just now joining the stream, welcome to the stream. And today we are going to be putting together the life-size Charmander. And this was the big project that I was talking about. Also, I hope you guys can hear me well. If you're joining in, let me know. I got this Centauri Carbon printing off the last piece for this thing, and it's kind of loud. See how much better we can get this lighting. Hold on. It's a little bit better. Okay. So, where did I get the STL file? It's actually in Colts 3D. If you just type in life-size Pokemon, they got like a ton of these. Let me fix this. I really don't like this angle of this camera right now. Hold on a second, y'all. It's not bad on the phone, to be honest with you, though. That's fine right there. You know the camera angles never work out for me. But I think it's all right. Can't really see much of the background, but what are you gonna do? Hey, Claudius, what's going on, man? I feel like I haven't done a live stream in forever, and it's literally just been a week. But for some reason, it's felt like such a long time since I've done one. God, the light sucks. It's gonna get really dark. I don't know if I like it super bright or super dark, or I feel like I almost could have done this like in the dark. That's like ugly bright. Might leave it right there. Okay. So this was the big project. So you guys can't even see half of what's going on. So let me try to shuffle this that way you can see real quick. All these parts right here, all this orange, if you guys can see all this was all printed off on the Cobra S1. Just got that printer in not too long ago. And this was sort of like the major test print that I was doing with it. And sort of like the surprise live stream that I wanted to have. And I'm pretty excited to put this thing together. I kind of like put it together just to see how it was going to go. And so far so good. It looks like everything's fitting pretty well. So let's not waste too much time. I'm probably going to move some of this stuff off, so that way I have room to sort of get everything where I need it to be. And yeah, so we're going to start putting this thing together real quick. Get my soldering iron all ready. And let me just hide some of these pieces back here. I guess the first thing I'll do is like put his head together, I guess. And I think with that piece, I can just slide this on. That's really all I gotta do. Okay, so we're gonna put his head together first, because that'll be exciting. I can have his head sitting here. So just give me 1 second. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way. So I got some room to work with over here. This is a ton of parts. I've been having Charmander parts everywhere for the last like 3 weeks. All right, so first things first, easiest thing to do probably is to start with his bottom jaw. And let me make sure my glue is coming out fine. And it's not. That's awesome. What the heck? Ooh, there we go. Well, now it's coming out. Is it just not coming out of here? There we go. All right, so let me spread out this glue a little bit. Let me just get some glue down right here. And this is going to be the first piece that we attach is his tongue. Yeah, back here, that is the Ray Gun Mark II from, I guess, Black Ops 2. And I actually have the Ray Gun Mark I all printed out and ready to go. And I was going to make it fully functioning with lights and sounds and stuff, but never got around to finishing it. It's actually the Ray Gun project. It was like a pretty popular thing back in like the Black Ops 2, 3 era. A lot of people started making it. Some guy started making it. I can't remember what his name was, but yes, we are going to start putting together Charmander. Let me put this Pokemon sign on there. That way you know what I'm doing. No, this is Charmander. Charizard's huge, but they do have one for him, surprisingly. And actually, it's funny because right before I started doing this live stream, I seen a bunch of files for other Pokemon. I thought he only made like the original like starters and like a couple of like their evolutions, like their last evolutions. But no, he made like everybody. Like there's a Mewtwo, a Mew, there's like Meowth, just a ton of them. There's a lot of the Gen 1 Pokemon, which is really interesting because those are quite some builds, and it'd be pretty interesting to make all of those. Be pretty cool. Let's see. So we got the teeth. Oh, hold on. I think I already messed up. That's usual. Dang it, I already messed up. Hold on a second. Easy fix. That one. Where's the other tooth at? No way. Don't tell me I didn't print it. Did I really not print off his tooth? 1, 2. Dang it, I think I forgot to print off a tooth. No way. I got white loaded up somewhere. Could probably print that off pretty quick, actually. All right, so what we're gonna do instead is, I guess, put everything else together that we can on his head before we do the rest of it. In terms of teeth, I think we can do these next 2 teeth. Got that tooth and this tooth. Yeah, I got a ray gun Mark II in the back over here. What am I using to bond the pieces together? So a combination of this thick CA glue and then just a soldering iron. And because I don't really plan on doing too much crazy post-processing, as in none, I'm not really worried about how it looks afterwards. Yep, this is 3D printed. Appreciate everybody coming out. Let me see if I can start a poll real quick. Actually, I'll wait on that. I'm gonna wait until a little bit later on, I guess. So, what we can do now is get his eyes started. And for that, I'm actually also going to be probably just soldering everything on again. Solder welding 3D prints just makes it so much easier and clean in the end. What 3D printer do I have? I have a lot. Most of this was printed off on the Anycubic S1 combo, even though there wasn't a lot of multi-filament printing. That was the machine that I used. And also the Elegoo Centauri Carbon. That was pretty much what everything was printed off of, both of those 3D printers. And basically all you're seeing me do is pretty much just heat the 2 pieces together, and that's pretty much gonna solidify them. Okay. So, I got a picture behind you guys of what his eyes are supposed to look like. So I'm pretty sure this would just be like this eye. Ooh, this is gonna look so cool, guys. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be dope. And I could have multi-filament printed his eyes actually, but I didn't. I probably should have. Whatever. Where's he have that? I'm just gonna like up at the top over here, I guess. Here's his eyeball coming together. Now he's got to put on the finishing touch, which is, they put green on the model, but honestly, I don't see that. I see more of a blue hue to Charmander's eyes whenever I look at pictures of him. So I did blue. I did it in like a silk blue PLA, so it'll come out pretty cool. So it'll be kind of like that. Yeah, and for any of you returning fans out there, I apologize for the live stream like marathon thing that I had planned coming to a screeching halt and not happening. Had to do a couple of videos and get specific content out before I could really focus on doing that stuff, and just kind of ran out of time, so I didn't want to just completely miss things that I was supposed to be doing. So plan on doing it at some point. I'm just not sure when. So this is his eyeball. Looking pretty cool. And then now, I'm going to glue it onto his head. There you go. See, it's already starting to look like him. How cool does that look? That's awesome. Yeah, and all of these prints came out like super clean, like surprisingly clean. That's crazy. A life-size Pikachu would be really cool. I really want to do like the original like 4 Pokemon, like life-size, but they just take up so much room. I don't even know where I'm going to put them all. But they are pretty cool. So we'll have to wait and see. Might end up doing them. Probably won't, though, because I'm lazy. Don't look at that. You guys didn't see anything. See, and this is why I solder weld everything, because it's just more reliable. Chloe, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Appreciate everybody coming out. I feel like I don't even remember how to do a live stream. It's been a week. I don't know why that feels like it's so long, but it does. I tried live streaming a game last week, because that's what everybody was asking me to do, and then I tried doing it and it wasn't working out, so I quit. Andrew, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. I guess I just put like a regular. All right. That looks sick. All right. So real quick, before we do anything else, I need to go start up a little print, because apparently I forgot to print off a tooth. So let me go start that up. So I think I got both of the big ones. So I might just print off both of the small ones, I guess. So I am not sure how I ended up messing that up. All right, so we got the teeth printing off on the S1, and now we can get back to work. So, next piece we got to work on is, can't really do that. I guess we can try to attach the back of his head, but we also got to attach that part. So, kind of at a stuck point right now. I guess we could attach his arms, start working on his torso a little bit. So let me scoot all these pieces over. Upper torso, right heel. And his little hands. So first thing I'm gonna do is try to like weld clean up his underneath real quick to try to see if that will like help make the parts closer together. All right. So what we can do, like I said, is attach his arms together. And this is going to be his, is it this arm? Yeah. So we're going to attach his left arm first. And honestly, you can't, I mean, hold on, let me see real quick. Let me wait for this thing to load in. Let me see if you can even tell. You can't really even tell that it's solder iron that much. Like in person, you can definitely tell, but on camera, not really. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing over here. This one's actually a little bit more rough than the other side, so let me go ahead and clean that up a little bit. I should have started up a question now. That's what I forgot to do. Just scared the crap out of me. It's a little bit closer. It's probably about as close as we can get. The only reason that these pieces are so rough is because they were printed on the underneath. Hey Xavier, how you doing, man? Right? Dude, this thing is coming out awesome. This thing is so cool. I'm trying to adjust my camera. That's about the best I can do. Oh wait, I remember I was gonna put a poll or a little questionnaire up. That's what I was gonna do. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Wait. What's your boop? There we go. I know, right? Dude, he's my favorite starter. This thing is sick, dude. This thing's gonna be so cool when it's done. All right. So, got a questionnaire up now. All right. Oh, also, Xavier, I was gonna tell you, man. If you want, you can. If you got your parents' permission, you can go ahead and reach out to me on like either Instagram or whatever, and I'll send you um, a dummy 13 because I feel like you deserve it. So get your parents' permission first, um, and then tell them to reach out to me on Instagram or something. Then I can arrange that because with all the accidental super chats, I feel like you deserve it. So. Right? I love the way that the eye turned out. The blue part is a silk PLA, so it came off like a little bit more shiny than the rest of it. Yeah, pretty good so far. I'm waiting for a tooth to print off. Got my feet on the bottom. You guys can see that. Said no? Okay. Well, there you go. There's your answer. I got the flame for his tail printing off in the Centauri Carbon, and that's like a mix between orange, red, and yellow, like silk PLA, so it kind of looks like a flame. Got his other tooth printing off over here because I forgot his tooth. So I should do Mew as my next Pokemon. See, it's funny that you say that too because I literally found a bunch of life-size Pokemon files that I didn't even know existed. By the same guy who made this one. Like he did Pikachu, he did Squirtle, Bulbasaur, like he did everybody. So I think I'm going to try to, I don't know, make this like some kind of like a mini series, I guess, because this would be awesome to have like a ton of life-size Pokemon. I don't know where I'm gonna put them all. Somewhere. I'm gonna start. I don't know, because this thing's gonna be huge. And I gotta get moving, man. How long have I been doing this? 30 minutes, and I've got nothing done. Watching the fights tonight? No, I forgot. It's not a card, is it? What UFC fights are on tonight? It better not be. It's not Duplessis, right? Or is it just like a regular fight night? But yeah, he has Mew, so I think I might do Mew next. Molly says, "Who is my favorite Pokemon?" My favorite Pokemon is Wailmer, and I don't want to hear it. He's cool, and I don't want to hear nothing about it. August 16th. Okay, good. I was about to say, if I missed that, I'm going to be big mad. All right. So now, let's attach this little guy's arm. But yeah, I think he has like, I'd say probably like half of like the first gen Pokemon, like life size already made. So any one of those I could probably do. The more like common ones he's made so far. You know, Meowth and just like the main kind of Pokemon, I guess you'd say. But yeah, pretty cool. It's kind of an expensive file, honestly. They're like $15 a pop, which I guess isn't too bad, but considering all he did was like adjust some tolerances on the model, I don't get why it's so expensive. But what do I know? I don't know nothing. And it looks like the flame. Oh, dude, the flame looks so cool. I can't wait for you guys to be able to see that. But it looks like it's almost done. I think it has like 15 or 20 minutes left. No, not even. It's got to be like 5 minutes. But God, that looks cool. I was deciding whether or not I should put a light in his tail. But I just wanted this to be more of like a simple build because I felt like if I did too much, it might look funny. So I just kept it simple. All right, so here's his body. Should do a public display eventually where people buy tickets. That'd be cool. Yeah, it is. It is shiny. It's so cool too because it's like it has like a gradient effect throughout the entire model. Ooh, my print just got done. Hold on. Teeth. So now we can go ahead and finish up his mouth, and then we can get his head going again. Okay. All right. He has teeth. Now let me move his big buddy over here. Oh, and for any UFC fans, look at this cool collectible thing I got. It's like a little punching bag thing, and it comes with fighters. This one's kind of ugly. Came with Islam, but I got one of John Jones. These are pretty cool. I want to get the McGregor one. Do you mind if I do a stop motion video? I'm not good at that. I mean, I probably could do one, but I probably won't. Not my area of expertise. All right, let's try this again. I'm gonna glue his mouth again, even though it didn't really do all that much last time. How do they expect you to do this? I am so confused right now. All right, hold on a second. I am not understanding what I should be doing with this. I guess I should almost like... I feel like it'd be almost better if I attached the tooth to the tongue, but it's not going to sit right. Did I design this? No. I got this off of Colts 3D. I'll leave a link to the file later. I'll add it to the stream or something, but you'll see me posting a lot about this thing. So just keep an eye out. Dude, why am I having the hardest time in the world right now? Trying to put this stupid tooth in his mouth. I don't know what I'm doing. How long? Probably a little bit, because I don't know what I'm doing. I would say somewhere within 2 to 3 hours, I'll have this thing done probably. Okay, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm getting mad. Can I not just slide this tooth in? I need the tongue to like sit like this. Hold on a second. Yeah, well, that didn't work. I am absolutely stuck. How the heck did he manage to make this so complicated? I have part of an idea. I think this might work. Hold on. Oh, I almost had it. Hold on. Wait. So this is usually the part where I start giving up on things because they're aggravating me. I really don't know what the heck to do with this tooth. I like really don't know how this is supposed to work. Like you physically cannot place the tooth and the tongue in there without them like contradicting each other. So what I think I'm gonna do, this is the only way I see it happening, is solder this tooth to the tongue and then try to like slide it all together. And see if that works. All right, that's the best I got. So hold on a second, let me show you guys what I ended up doing. I'm kind of gonna get a move on with this thing now. All right, so we got his stupid little mouth together. We got his stupid little head together. So now we're gonna take both of these stupid parts and put them together like these. Boop. How cool is that? There we go. And we're doing something now. Hey, that looked pretty good, didn't it? Wow. All right. I'm not going to do too much solder welding with his face because I don't want it to look weird. So now is we got to attach his face to the back of his head. So I'm literally just going to actually lay this down. Okay. back of his head. And there. Whoa. The flame just got done, and it looks sick. That looks so cool. Hold on a second. There we go. We got Charmander's head. That is so cool on its own. That is crazy. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me get this flame so I can show you guys how cool this thing looks. This thing came out nice. Okay. Ooh, all right. So here's the flame. And this thing came out so cool with the gradient silk filament. That looks so crazy. All right, let me get all this support off. Just so you guys want to see how the support comes off. Comes off like water. That is so cool. That's exactly how I wanted to come out. That's crazy. That is the coolest thing I think I've ever seen, honestly. That is such a cool print. That looks so good. I'm putting that right there so that way y'all can look at that. Because that's so neat. Okay, so we got his head done. What printer am I using? I'm using a combination of a couple different ones. I got the Centauri Carbon, the S1 combo. A couple other ones. Okay. So now I'm going to, well, the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put his feet together on his, with his lower body. You get that going. The heck's his other foot at? Oh, here. I got parts all around me. Can't even keep track of what I'm doing. Okay. So there. Put his little feet together. This lighting sucks. One foot. Whoop. That wasn't good. All right. And then this is his chunkiness. And now what we're going to do is put his chunkiness with his feet. So here's 1 foot. This is his lump. One. And 2. Now we got Charmander's lump. This is his lump. Okay. Now here's the only thing that kind of confuses me. I might end up just standing up and getting out of the way and just trying to like put this thing together so that way you guys can actually see it. 'Cause I don't know how else I'm going to be able to do this thing. All right. So real quick, just because I know these pieces are going to have to go together anyways, let's put okay. Okay. And his big body. Now what I want to see is if I put that on there like that, can I still attach all the belly pieces? I think so. I don't think I need to slide them in, so we should be good. It's actually slanted outwards, so we should be okay. So before I do that, put that off real quick. Let me put some glue down. This is going to quickly come together now. How do I go about doing this? That way you guys can just keep seeing what I'm seeing. I might like try to do it from the side or something. All right. So now, I know, right? This thing is massive. I'm trying to figure out how I can even do this. All right, hold on a second. There's going to be a lot of movement for the next couple seconds while I try to put this thing together. Okay, so now we're going to do his tail. Spin his big self around. And then, yeah, I didn't take into account that this thing is massive whenever I started the stream and that I might not have enough room. All right. Okay, so we got 2 pegs we got to put in. Okay. So I got the tail, and I'm going to actually try to smoothen this thing out a little bit, just because there is so much support material that was left behind on it. So just give me 1 second. Yeah, we're getting there, slowly but surely. Still a little bit to go. I'd say probably within the next 30 minutes or so, I should be able to finish this thing up. All right. That connection right there is definitely going to be like the ugliest of the whole thing. So as long as we can make this look decent, we should be in good shape. How does that look? Thank you, Xavier. I appreciate it. This is looking pretty good. This is pretty smooth. I mean, you can see the line a little bit from the connection, but it's not too bad. So we're doing pretty good. Okay, so before I move on to the next part of his tail, let me go ahead and connect the rest of his belly. This is like the tricky part right here. Trying to do this without breaking everything. Oh, see? Okay. Next part of his belly is going to be right here. I'm just going to keep moving you guys as I go, so that way you guys have a better view than just nothing. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. That was really good, actually. Okay, so we're going to continue on with his tail. We actually are getting pretty close to finishing him up. Probably in 15, 20-ish minutes, we should be definitely pretty close to being done. Got 2 parts of his tail, 2 parts of his stomach, the flame, and then we're just going to attach the head. I'm going to do that last, though, so that way it all comes together at the end. All right. Attaching the next part of his tail. There we go. Once again, can't even hardly tell the lines. I mean, you can see them a little bit, but it's definitely, when you're looking at this thing from afar, you're never going to be able to see it. This is going to look so sick when it's done. Right? I'm really impressed with how good the tolerances are with this model, and that's probably what you're mostly paying for whenever you buy these models, because it's actually like phenomenal. All right, let's see if I can do this without breaking them. Okay. Sorry, I keep moving you guys around, but you know, it is what it is. So then we got this piece. And I like how the stomach pieces overlap because that kind of helps solidify the rest of the model together. So that's like a neat little add-on. Okay, so now we're gonna stay here for a second because it's still gonna attach one more piece and then one more underneath. And the thing that sucks that I'm now realizing, because this is actually gonna show a lot, there was like no good way to print this piece. I tried to do it like this. I tried like this, like this. I tried like so many different ways to orient it. And the only way it would take it is if I printed it like this, which came out completely awful. So first thing I'm gonna do is attach the last piece of the tail, and then I'm gonna try to fix it the best I can, and we'll just see how that works out. So like I said, the first thing, tail. That's the last piece of the tail. And now I'm just going to try to like solder weld repair this piece. So all I'm gonna do is first try to like reattach it. Okay, so I don't want to bore you guys to death. I don't want to just sit here and do nothing. So yeah, I am just going to go ahead and attach this as it is. And then maybe later on, I'll try to fix it somehow. But I'm not about to sit here for hours trying to weld that thing to make it look perfect while you guys are sitting here waiting. All right. That looks pretty good. All right. So we only got a few little things left to do, as in like two. And then, oh no, I still got to do all of his little toenails. You guys got to tell me these things because I don't know what I'm doing. We got to do all his toenails. So let's do those real quick. I'm not sure which one's which, so I'm just going to have to eyeball them and see which one's which. Hey, Landon, what's going on? Currently, I'm making a life-size Charmander. All right. So now we only got a couple pieces. Okay. So let's back this thing up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pick him up. Spin him around. Turn he let it. Just going to do a little touch up right here. Okay. All right. So we're going to need about one more of these. All right. The last little peg for this thing. Okay, and now for the flame. Hold on, let me see how they have it looking in the picture. It looks like, right, like the third one is kind of facing to the front. So like, Oh shoot, hold on. Okay. I'm so confused. There we go. Okay. Got the flame on. Let me go ahead and solidify it. All right. I know, that would have been pretty sick if I would have made it with lights, but I didn't. Okay. Spin this bad boy around. If I can learn how to use my camera. All right. So, the final piece for the life-size Charmander build. His head. Oh, that might be why. I still have stuff in it. Hold on a minute. There we go. Now we're ready. Okay, you guys ready? All right. There you have it. Life-size Charmander. This thing came out super cool. Hold on a second. Let me turn off the soldering iron. All right. Let's take a look at this thing. All right. So, got his blue eyes, the tongue, the nails. This is definitely the coolest part right here is the flame. This thing came out absolutely sick with that gradient filament. And it's kind of hard to get a good idea about how big this thing is, so I'll put it up next to me in a second. But this thing came out so good, and especially for it being literally a raw 3D print. I mean, I can't even, unless you're like really looking for the lines, you can't even see it. That just came out absolutely sick. Oh, JK Gaming and Shorts, I just seen that. Can I pray for you? I'm not going to do it out loud, but I will. But yeah, this thing came out awesome. All right. I'll definitely be doing a lot more content of this. You guys will see a video and some shorts coming out about it. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. It was a bit of a long one, probably longer than I expected it to be, but it came out really, really good, and I'm glad that I did it. Pretty much a super in-depth test for the Cobra S1 combo, but also for the Centauri Carbon. A lot of different prints on 2 different machines. So if you guys enjoyed the live stream, go ahead and leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more 3D printing content, as that is all that I do. And I will see you all in the next live stream.